Good afternoon, everybody. This is the Talking Cafe from Community Council Somerset. My name is Detchen Chodron and I'm a village agent. And today we have invited a young Ben Pulletz, who is a local photographer, who is an expert in photography and wildlife. Ben has won many awards, and including being in the Country Life magazine this month, and he has also been interviewed by ITV, and currently he has a pop-up shop in Somerton, which he will also talk about. So I'm now going to invite Ben into the chat.
Hello, Detchen. How are you? Are you well?
Hello, Ben. Hi, lovely to see you. Yes, I'm very well, thank you. And it's been a little while since I've heard about more of your work, but I know you've been plugging away at your wonderful wildlife photography. So do you want to tell us a bit about how you got into this first?
Yeah, so I've always had a passion for nature and birds and wildlife and stuff. But it was, I picked up a camera 4 years ago now. I started taking pictures on my iPad. So going out at sunset, capturing the nice golden hour and stuff like that. But then I bought myself a camera and I've never really put it down, really. My favourite birds are owls, hares and deer. And it's just kind of gone on from there, really. Always had a passion and always loved nature, really. Yeah.
Wonderful. So in the 4 years, you must have been capturing quite a lot of different wildlife, but you must have learned some techniques of how to actually capture, the amazing shots that you are capturing. So perhaps you could tell us about some of those ways you now have learned.
Yeah, so when I spot an animal or a bird or something, I always like to not be seen. So I will do mad things like lie down in hedgerows and fields and get on your hands and knees and get across the field a bit like low profile, I always say, so nothing can see that you're there. And when wildlife sees that you're not there, it will do stuff which you haven't maybe witnessed like before, you could say, like new techniques and stuff. And when it knows it's not there, it's has a different take on everything, and you can capture so. If you spend long hours outside watching, you can capture amazing moments of nature. Definitely.
So just on that bit of information, then I understand you have a film that captures some of the antics that you kind of get up to when trying to make a very good photograph. And so my technical expert, here we go.
Here we go.
So this is the film of Ben capturing a photograph. I think it's of a hare.
Yeah.
We might be having just a tad little bit of technical issue here while the film's loading. So we're just going to see if our technical person can get this film to play.
It's worth the wait, I can say.
Yes, I have actually seen it, Ben, and it's quite funny, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
in a way, there's quite a bit of humour in it.
Yeah,
we should turn it into a comedy, which would get more attention.
Yes, it's good. It's good to have a different take on how to capture great moments. Definitely. Yeah, but yeah.
But imagine if we did turn it into some sort of comedy.
How we all doing? Found a.
Here we go.
Oh. Well, it started. Is that how it starts, Ben?
Yeah, I think we just it might just be loading. Yeah.
Okay.
We could talk about the image if you wanted to, the backstory, how I.
Yes, okay, Ben, let's do that.
Let's do the backstory.
So
So the backstory
today
is.
we're going to look
Oh,
at how I
okay.
took this image.
I think it gets to that point, Ben, and then it seems to stop.
Yeah, so it was a hare I'd seen for quite a few years in this particular field, and in the end, I could get quite close to it. So it realised that I wasn't going to do any harm to it. I could get quite close, and when I say close,
Hair
a few
lying
meters.
down.
Here we go. So, how did I do it? Nearly.
Oh no,
No,
it's not quite working, is it?
no.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay. So do you want to tell us the backstory then, Ben?
yes, it was a hare I'd been following for a few years. I could get really close to it because it it could see me as a photographer rather than someone. I wasn't going to do any harm to it, so I could get a few meters away from this hare. I would get hands and knees, crawl across the field to the hare, and once I get a good distance away from it, because I don't want to scare it away. But this particular hair, I could tell which hair it was as well because it had a bit next to his eye, had like different markings, so I could tell it was that particular hair. And I got a picture of it head on, looking straight at my camera, and that was taken about 10 foot away from where I was lying
Wow.
across the field. So it was an amazing experience and one of those one-off experiences. Probably it don't come every day, but I followed it for a few years, and eventually, I got that picture. And
It's amazing, Ben, that you can say that you followed it for a few years, because
yeah,
I suppose at first you had to sort of realise that it was the same hair. Oh, there is a picture of it.
that's
Oh,
the
it's a
picture. Yeah,
wonderful
that is.
picture.
Yeah. So yeah,
Amazing. So
that is the hair. But that
yeah,
was 10 foot away from my camera.
yeah, yeah.
And then after that picture, I I just left it to do its thing and left it to carry on feeding. I think it was, and yeah, it's a beautiful animal. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think the symbology of hares is quite amazing as well, and you don't see that many of them. So for you to have followed one for 4 years is quite unique, I think.
Yeah,
Really, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You got to get
Anyway,
up.
if we manage to get the film up a bit later on, we'll try again, perhaps nearer the
Yeah,
end, to see if we can get the film up. But
yeah.
so what I was also going to ask you about was your owl boxes. So apparently
Yes.
you have been putting owl boxes up in lots of places, and you can actually help people to have owl boxes put up. Is that right?
Yeah. So I live in Charlton Adams, so I've worked with landowners and farmers around Somerset, and I've tried to encourage. I've showed it to local people, get communities involved, and just try and show people that we have tawny owls and barn owls around, and this
It,
gives
it,
gives them a great place to live, keeps them sheltered,
yeah. You see,
and
it's quite it doesn't look so sort of nature friendly, but do the owls go in the front of it?
yes, so it's made out of recycled plastic. It is, so it's
Uh-huh.
all recycled. It's all good quality, and it's
Uh-huh.
going to last a long time. So it's going to hopefully. Well, I put up about 10 at the moment, about 10 owl boxes, and I've got 3 or 4 of them active with chicks at the moment. So
Wow.
that
Is
is
that
fabulous news. Fabulous, yeah.
and the local landowners have helped you install them?
Yeah, so and a big shout out to Colin Trogan. He helped me install quite a few of these boxes. So yeah, and these are dotted around Somerset. So Yeah.
And would anybody be able to have an owl box installed somewhere if they knew of particular owls perhaps they've seen and know they would benefit from this?
Yeah, yes, definitely. If you'd like to get in touch with me, that would be good, and I'll be happy to
Okay.
have a look. But do take into account main roads and stuff like that, because yeah, we've
Yes.
got to keep them quite a distance away from any harmful, like cars, main roads, that sort of thing. And yeah,
Yeah. And I
you've
think
got
we've just got on the screen that on Facebook, Feathers and Hills and Ben Pulletz Photography. So you can find him on Facebook on, you know, if you're interested, or you can send us a message on to the live Talking Cafe now. So that's the owl boxes. Owls are quite amazing. Are you aware, Ben, that animals in other cultures, they have sort of like they kind of can be seen as signs and symbols? Are you aware of that?
I am, yes, yes, especially hares, as you said earlier. Yeah, hares are quite yeah, a big symbol, aren't
Yes,
they?
because we have our sort of native animals, but then say the Native Americans, they have their native animals, and so they've
Yeah,
actually sort of, I think we have got it here as well, where certain animals are significant to certain things. I do
yeah.
know some of them. I don't. Do you know what the hare means, Ben?
I don't actually. No, I don't. But I will find out.
I think it's associated with the moon and the tides, something to do with the moon and the tides, and the way that the seasons change. I know that it might be related to that.
We've just had a
Okay,
question. Which is your favourite photo?
and why?
So I would go for this picture. Where is it? There, which is two hares in front of the sunset. It was taken near Somerton, and I went back to that field for about 2.5 years. I had to walk there. It was about 5 miles, 5 miles there, 5 miles back. So it was a little bit of a walking distance, but it all worked out in the end. So yeah, there it
Oh
is.
wow, Ben, that is amazing.
And I quite
Wow,
like
that
it.
is,
It's like the two, they're like a couple talking to each other, which is
yes.
I quite liked as well. And yeah, that was one of the best sunsets I've ever seen. That's another reason why it's one of my favourites, because the sunset was just, the colour
Mm.
was just amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah. So
That is
favourite.
extraordinary. Both, I find that being an artist myself as well, I do find the sunrise and the sunset seems to be the times when you sort of get that more quiet moments or special moments.
Yes, definitely sunset as well, because hare and deer always feed during the night, as well as the day. They're most active during the evening, dusk, dawn, that sort of time. So the
I
evening
suppose
is
that's when more humans are not so active and they
yeah,
perhaps feel more safe then.
yeah. So that was captured at sunset.
Mm. I'd quite like it. I'd like to have a copy of that. I'd like to. I don't know. I think I'd just like the sun with the hair, sort of almost like, so it's like really focused on that. That would be an interesting.
What I try to do with this, well, what I try to do with quite a lot of my pictures these days, I try and show the environment, the habitat of where these
Okay.
species live, and that gives quite a good understanding of what they like to live in, to show people that might not know about hares and deer or nature as such, and
Yes.
it really gives a good understanding of where these amazing creatures and animals live, and then people
Yes.
use them for conservation and all that kind of stuff, and
Yes. Well,
use
yeah,
them.
that's a really important point. I was going to ask you some questions about that, about the environment and conservation, because you know, we are discovering that as different animals are reintroduced into the wild, I think there's been a thing on, oh, it's not otters. What was it on? The ones with the big, they build dams.
Beaver.
Beaver. There's been a thing, hasn't there, in the country life about the beaver and how where the beavers have been being reintroduced, it's had a big effect on the natural habitat of all sorts of other species.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you follow that sort of thing?
I do, because all nature it links together, doesn't it? So if you've got one species doing something good, it's like an effect, isn't it? When
It's
everything
like a
works,
chain reaction, isn't it? It's like a chain reaction. Yeah.
butterflies,
Even,
if the butterflies are doing well, the birds are doing well. So it all, definitely, it's all linked together. That's why we need to take it, and that's why it's so important. Yeah.
yeah, they're the things that people like you are highlighting the creatures, and it helps more people to see the creatures
Definitely.
in their natural habitat, and it helps other people then to appreciate that, and then things like country life, it also raises the awareness, doesn't it, of how this could not only affect how other creatures will come back, but also I think plant species as well are also all affected by the animals, isn't it? I think that's to do with I think there's a thing on wolves, isn't there, that they've introduced them somewhere else, but I don't think they have introduced them yet in Scotland, but they're talking about it, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know too much about that really, but I do know a lot of people still talk about the big cats, the big black stuff, the cats they've seen, the lynxes and stuff.
Yes, yeah,
Whether they'd
that's true.
actually come back to this country, I think it would be quite an interesting thing to do. I think it would, but yeah, I don't know too much about that side of things. But
Yeah.
um,
Well, the animals are certainly a part of our lives, and we have to respect them and their
yeah,
environment and the environment they live in, don't we?
yes, definitely. It's all around us. We just need to go out and see nature more, or see whatever it is. Go down to your local nature reserve or local park or something, and see
Yeah,
what
didn't you? Was
see.
it down at a nature reserve where you did the ITV film?
That was at Lights Carey, National Trust. Yeah, so yeah,
Do they have any particular special wildlife there?
they do actually. Yeah, and the ranger there, Mark, if he's listening, hello, Mark. He's really keen on doing stuff for nature, and I've actually got an hour box in Lights Carey, in the Lights Carey estate. So but yeah, he's really keen, leaving stuff wild, wildflowers, that kind of thing, introducing the bees, the butterflies, that kind of thing. Yeah, so he does really good stuff down there at Lights Carey. So if you're in the area, Lights Carey, that is
I think
it's a
this
lovely.
might be your. Is that the film that we're trying to put up of your interview?
Yeah.
Are you able to play that, Fiona? Hang on, let's just click on here, Fiona. No. Okay, we've got a photograph now of one of Ben's wonderful images of
Here we
that,
go. It's playing.
the golden hind, the beautiful golden deer.
Like this, there are some key things you need. High up.
I think we're still trying to load the film to see if we can actually play
patience and dedication. Something Ben Pulletz from Charlton Adam near Somerset has in droves, and his results speak for themselves.
I'll do all I can to try and get that shot. I walk about 30 miles a week at the moment, laying in the hedgerows, laying in the crop wheat fields, anything, all weathers, anything it takes really. But yeah, it's a great feeling when I've put all that time, like the 2 hares in front of the sunset. That took about 1.5 years to get.
Unsure what to do after leaving school, 20-year-old Ben picked up a camera and since then has picked up numerous awards and plaudits. Getting so close to nature has led to him urging us to do our bit to help.
We need to know what's around here, like the glowworms. People just don't really probably understand the meaning of impact when they cut that front lawn or cut that back lawn. Yeah, I've tried to encourage the whole of my road where I live to leave their bit, and I've left my bit, and yeah, they've done it luckily, and it's hopefully going to help our numbers of glowworms. Really, that'd be brilliant. You all right, Mark? Yeah.
We filmed Ben at the National Trust-run Lights Carey Manor, a spot he loves photographing at, and one that's doing all it can to encourage wildlife.
We're really proud of the fact that we can farm and have margin on the side of the arable, which is basically like a meadow. So you've got strips of wildlife corridor going all the way through. And I'm working with local landowners to actually make this wildlife network a bit bigger to join up with other wildlife sites, because you haven't just got habitat loss, but habitat fragmentation.
The work being done here is perfect for Ben's photos, and he says we can all follow his lead by enjoying what's on our doorstep.
Just sit in your back garden. And just have a good look around. It's all around us. Just put in the hours, and hopefully you get a nice wildlife moment over your site. Yeah.
Ben McGrail, ITV News, Somerset.
And there we go.
Well, I'm so glad we've actually managed to play that, because that really does show quite a lot of your skills and your lovely photography. It is quite amazing. In fact, I don't think I saw as many of photographs as that the last time when I was being the technical expert, because I was probably busy with that. So you generally enter a lot of competitions, don't you, Ben?
Yeah, I think it's good to put your images out there, especially if you capture something which is a bit more unique in that, like a unique perspective or a different moment of nature, or might not have been captured before. I got a picture of a heron and a buzzard having a fight, which was slightly unusual. That was taken down the Somerset levels last year. And I quite like entering it to see what other people are capturing as well, and it gives you ideas as well. Gives you ideas about nature. You might look at something in a different way when you look at other people's work, and it gives you a good understanding of photography, really. Yeah,
and that also sort of helps you get a bit of a platform to be seen as well, and enables you to sort of progress in your chosen career, really.
Yeah. Put your name out there, and
now, are you on things like Instagram? We've got you Facebook on there, haven't we?
Yeah, so you can find Instagram at Ben Pulletz, and I post there quite regularly.
Yeah, and that's good to know.
Yeah, it's Ben Pulletz Photography, or Feathers and Hills, which is my website.
So can you tell us now though about what you're doing up at Somerset in the shop now then?
Yeah, so I'm currently having an exhibition in Somerton. So it's opposite the stationery house. It's called Number 1 West Street. And I'll be here till Sunday exhibiting all my nature pictures. There's a few of them. At the
Are you
top.
there now?
Yeah, I'm here now. Yeah, so I'll be here tomorrow and Friday morning and Saturday. So please do pop in if you're in the area in Somerton. I'd love to
And is
meet
this
you.
pop-up shop available to rent off the council or somebody? Who's it available from?
It's an local art. It's called Ace Art. They do lots of arty stuff, and you can rent it off them and exhibit all your pictures or whatever you do. Really, if you're an artist, a local artist, or if you'd like to rent the space for something else, it's a really good space as well because it, as you mentioned, it gets your name out there and gets you known, and you can show your local Somerset nature pictures that I've captured as well. So
I didn't quite capture hear who you speak to get the contact for that though.
It's Ace Arts. Ace Arts. Yeah.
Oh, Ace Art.
Yeah. Ace Arts.
Ace Art. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know because I didn't know about it, Ben, and I'm a local artist, so
Yeah,
I might rent it myself.
recommend it to anybody that would like to do this. Yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, so do you have any other things that you'd like to share with your audience now?
I'd say it's lovely weather at the moment, so I'd say to anybody interested in photography or wants to look at nature or birds, especially this time of year, all the birds have chicks and are feeding their families back and forth all the time, and it's one of the best times of year because the weather's good, everything starts to come out. So I definitely say get out there, go down to your local park, your local nature reserve, or go for a nice walk and see what animals or pieces of nature you can witness, really, because it's all out there, and it's just a nice thing to do, and then we can understand that we have all this nature on our doorstep, and it's just lovely.
Just having an idea right now, Ben, as we're talking, I just was thinking because you've obviously gathered a lot of skills as a photographer now, and so like I have last year I had a robin's nest in my. I collected up lots of sort of broken branches, and I'd put them in a dustbin.
Yeah.
And then the robins made a nest, and they would flying in under the lid, and they had, I think they had 2 babies there, but I think they're quite territorial robins. So I have quite a few robins in my garden. So I think a lot of other people might have lots of other wildlife in their garden.
Yeah.
Now, it might be an interesting project, perhaps, if you were interested, for you to photograph animals in people's gardens. And maybe that could be a way maybe you could even be paid to photograph animals in people's gardens. Just to show, because we don't all have your skills in terms of photographer.
No, but as you said, there's loads of wildlife in your gardens, no matter how big or small your garden is, or if you don't have a garden, you might have a local park or something, or local community field or whatever. It's all around us, and it's amazing if you just sat down for an hour, or just what you can do. I sometimes put up, I call them wildlife cameras. So you leave them in one spot for about a few hours, and then you can see what birds or animals are moving through that.
Is that like a film? Is that a film, or is that a photograph then?
It's a film, so it's on a sensor. So every time something goes in front of the
so
camera,
people could hire you to put a sensor film into their garden.
They Good.
and then you could process the film so they can know, and maybe even have a film. But from a film, you could probably produce some photographs as well, couldn't you?
Yeah, but yes, there's
So
one.
anybody out there who's interested in having their garden with photographed or filmed by Ben, if Ben's up for that, then that might be an interesting project. So do we have any other questions? No, I don't think we do. Okay, I think we're about at the end of our film now.
This is
So,
an image I can see an image of this is an image I captured about 2 years ago now. It's of a swift. So the swift is just flying in front of that's actually the sun. So I underexposed it, had a really fast shutter speed. So the shutter speed will steal the bird. So it will be nice and sharp and in focus. And that took about 2,000 pictures to get that one. So
to get that one shot.
Yeah.
Well, that's an example of Ben's skill, you see. So, if we could actually,
a lot of luck
really
as well.
interesting. Yeah, that's an amazing shot, Ben. Really fantastic. Well, I'm really amazed to hear about all your work and how long it takes to get one shot. So, thank you very much, Ben, for coming on to the Talking Cafe today and sharing all your information. Really, really amazing. And thanks to Fiona and to Annette for supporting this event to happen. Thank you very much.
And I was just going to say, on Saturday, I am doing a talk in the parish hall in Somerton. So this is the poster on the.
Okay, what time are you doing the talk?
It's at 7:00 on Saturday. So if you'd like tickets, get in touch with me via my website, or you can get tickets in the stationery house. Or just please do get in touch if you're interested. I'll be talking about more in depth the settings behind my pictures, and if you'd like to come along, I'd love to.
And is the parish hall in Somerton?
Yeah, in Somerton. Yeah,
I think that's in the Market Square, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Ben. That's great. Is there anything else you want to add?
I think just get out, make sure if it's going to be nice weather this next week, so lots of nice sunsets, lots of nice opportunities. So get yourself out there and see what nature you can see.
Fantastic, Ben. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye for now.